Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Welcome to the What's on Tap ultimate episode of 2021.
It's the end of the party, and the fireworks are through.
I don't know this song.
It's one of ABBA's most famous songs.
Is it? It's not Dancing Queen. It's not Money, Money, Money. It's not
It's Happy New
Fernando.
Year. Okay, it's Happy New Year by ABBA. It's
that's not one of their most famous.
okay. Fair
Look, I saw all of Mamma Mia. That song was not in there. If it wasn't in Mamma Mia, not their best work.
Anyway.
Have you heard their new song? You know they had a new album out this year.
Yeah.
2021, Return of ABBA could be a sign of the upcoming apocalypse.
Oh no, it's the fifth sign of the apocalypse.
Considering anything they said, it would be the end of the world before we ever made another album.
Yes.
It was okay. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I gotta say, it didn't have the fun of their earlier work.
No.
They were a little too serious, and I was missing the real poppy, light bubblegum essence of the early days.
Agreed.
So that was ABBA's 2021 mini release review, our mini review.
But they've been a part of 2021, and we're leaving 2021 now.
We are.
Good riddance.
Passing it by. I don't know. It wasn't that bad of a year. I mean,
We kind of left COVID behind a little bit, and then it reared its ugly head. Omicron edition.
yeah. End of the year, I think it all snuck up on us. We're like, wait, what? We thought we were past this, and it was like, no, sucker. This is your new normal. It'll be that way for life. But the world opened up a little bit over the summer, and you could travel if you wanted to and see things. And I got to go to Italy, and I got to bring back beers from there for us to try. It was delicious. And I got to go to Brussels, and I brought you some beers from there.
Yum yum yum.
We didn't get as many or do any really interviews this year, which I hope we get to start back again next year.
Yes. But we did start kind of going to festivals.
Yeah. In September, October, there was just a glut of festivals.
True.
There were 3 in a row here in Sweden.
Yes.
That you went to 1, I went to 0, and Bjorn went to all 3.
Yes.
I don't know how he did it. That's a real trooper.
Björn is great.
Yeah.
And we went to Svanseday in Copenhagen to drink Cantillon beers.
Yeah.
And several of these things that we've mentioned, like you went to Belgium and you brought me back beers. That's very true. That's clue number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Svanseday, even though it's Cantillon, it was at Drikkeriget, and they had a garage sale of old beers.
Mm-hmm.
That's clue number 2. And then all of last year with COVID and online beer releases would be clue number 3 to what my beer is, what I brought.
Oh, those are all very good clues.
No, they're not. No one would have guessed it. But if avid listeners who know me know that I have brought a Fonteinen beer.
Yes, there's no surprise there.
No
I'm
surprise.
Super glad you did. And it is the Oude Geuze 2016.
Yeah, the Oude Geuze Vintage.
Vintage 2016. Sorry, I didn't include
2016.
the word vintage in front of 2016.
Otherwise, it would just be the regular
That's very, very true.
undrinkable swill.
That is really cheesy smelling.
It is kind of cheesy smelling, yes.
This is really a Geuze beer.
Yes.
Because normally we drink a lot of lambics. But actually we drink a lot of Geuze. Not a lot of lambics, because those are the blends.
Everything is lambic. Lambic is it's like saying ale.
Right.
Yeah.
But Geuze is the blend of all of them.
Yes,
Yes.
1, 2,
Yeah,
and 3.
that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah. So we drink a lot of Geuze on this show because we love it. And we love John Fonteinen so much. And this smells like the essence of a Geuze.
Yeah, I
It
think so.
is a little funky, little cheesy kind of smelling.
I think the smell is quite mellow compared to some of the other Geuses we've had.
Well, for me, like Cantillon really has that, like a fresher Cantillon has that real pungent kind of upfront nose, and that's why I think, well, really for me, when I think of like top tier Geuze makers, Geuzeria, I don't know what the official, I don't know what the actual term is, but when I think of what lambic makers, I think like Cantillon and Fonteinen are kind of like A level.
Yes.
And then there's like a really strong B class. And then there's a really distant C class.
Yes. So in the B class you would put Boone, Girardin, Tilquin.
Decam.
Yes.
Yeah, those, that level there. And so it would be like Fonteinen, Boca, maybe Antidote, things like that would be in the A class. Yeah. And then the B class is still just solid, participants. But between Fonteinen and Cantillon, I think, for me, what mainly, getting back to my original point, what mainly differentiates them is Fonteinen you can drink from day one, basically. Cantillon, when it comes to their goods, like 5 years is really their starting point.
Yes.
It really needs to sit and mellow for quite a bit, because they can be quite pungent whenever they're really, really fresh. So I'm very excited to try this 2016.
Definitely. But Fonteinen, so throughout this year of beer, through ups and downs and hypes to the left and to the right, Fonteinen has been a constant for me. I've constantly, throughout the year, been searching out, getting new variants and new blends of Fonteinen. And they've been solidly putting out online packs to buy. And there's just been a lot of Fonteinen floating around in like the secondary market to trade and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really been, if I were to just boil the entire beer year down to one thing, it would be Fonteinen, and then other things happened to occur.
Yeah. I mean, for you, definitely. I can see that, because I know you're such a big fan of theirs, and your cellar is, I mean, how many?
This year I passed 300 different variants and blends.
Wow, that's
so the cellar is about 700 or 800 bottles.
Wow, that's crazy impressive.
Because I tried to have 2 of each.
I know.
Preferably 3, so we can drink one immediately.
Exactly, and I've been very much the benefit of your hoardery. Your obsession has only paid off for me, and I've been very thankful for that.
I'm not sure we ever said it in an episode, but when you went to Belgium, Fonteinen had a deal where you could buy one rare beer to drink in, and then you were allowed to buy one additional bottle of that same beer to take with you.
Yes.
So my offer to Stefan was, I mean, if you buy two identical bottles, and I'll pay you for both, the one you drink and the one you bring home to me, which was a really good deal, right?
It was a really, really good deal. And since I went by myself, and I just can't stand waste, I did not take full advantage of your offer.
No, you could have gone through everything for free.
I could have, but then I would have ended up with a lot of 750 milliliter bottles that had 2 glasses taken out of them, and then the rest was just waste. And I just respect the brewery, and I respect the process way too much to just drain pour bottles and bottles of their stuff, basically.
I respect that.
So,
but I disagree.
I know. So yeah, I did bring back 2 bottles for you. I went through and I did kind of look at what are the highest rated beers to take away to make sure you got the best and the rarest, and I think I even consulted with you on what I ended up buying to bring back. So
it was great.
Yeah. But anyway, let's try this beer.
Yes.
So again, this is the Oude Geuze 2016
vintage.
Cheers, vintage 2016.
They're different.
I know. Tart, funky, a little appley.
Definitely appley. Little peppery.
A little peppery. Just, just good. Just
a lot of sweeter apples. What actually surprises me is that the aftertaste dissipates more quickly than it does with the fresher variants.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit disappointed in the aftertaste. I was actually expecting a longer feeling.
I would expect a little more funkiness to it.
Yes.
From the smell, I was expecting to get a little bit more of that cheesy barnyard funk in there that it was kind of presenting. So it is a little one note in the flavor and the finish, but it's like a really strong note.
Definitely. But I could name fresher blends that are better than this.
Right, because you brought over that, what was it, the Oude Geuze blend number 77 a couple of weeks ago.
Did we drink Fonteinen here?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
And it was
precise drinking.
It was outstanding. It was literally like, oh my God, this is incredible. I'm so glad I have a bottle of this.
Exactly.
It was crazy good. And there were a lot of notes and different flavors and came in at different angles, and it was a real pleasurable experience. Whereas this it's very solid, but it is not really giving me all of the levels that we got from before.
No. With the Fonteinen Oude Geuze, my ratings range from 4 up to approaching 5.
Yeah.
Depending on the blend and the particulars. This one is on the lower end. So at most it'll get a 4.25, but it's somewhere between 4 and 4.25. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yep.
It's right there in that range as well. I think it's certainly a good beer. I'm really glad that we're going to try it here today, but I was expecting it to be a little bit better than it was, like maybe like a 4.4, 4.5 kind of.
Yes, that
But
is
this
what I
is
was expecting.
in that 4 to 4.25 kind of range.
Exactly. I don't know if this one needs more time or less time.
Yeah, I don't know that more time is going to give it more character.
No, maybe not. It's difficult. I mean, with these kind of lively beers, because they do continue developing in the bottle. It's not just downhill. The flavors won't just go down. But this one is throwing me for a loop. I expected more. That's why I brought it for the end of the year.
I'm getting a little more like lime and like bitter lime kind of flavor to it. Kind of like when you get the rind pith kind of part of it. So I think for me, this is going to be a 4 overall.
Yeah, I completely get it. It's weird.
Yeah, but I'll definitely would drink it again.
Yeah. What I do think is that your beer will be better.
Possibly. So I would say, like you said, if there was one brewery for you in 2021, it was the Fonteinen. For me, it is the Moersleutel.
Yes.
I signed up to their guild membership back in May, and I've had 3 boxes this year. 4th box will be in, by the time of this recording, it will have already come in, but it wasn't available for the recording. And I've really enjoyed for the most part, what they've done. And I've learned a lot about the brewery. And what I've learned is their sour beers are hot trash.
Yes.
Oh my God, they're so bad. Like, to the point where you're kind of like, guys, you should stop. You should just really quit doing this. You make great labels, you have really funny names, but your sour beers are not your wheelhouse. Your pastry sours, whoa, stop. Just you're embarrassing yourself. Then it comes to their IPAs, which are good.
They range from okay to good.
Yeah. I mean, there's different. They haven't had a great one yet, but they've been drinkable and they've been enjoyable. Yes. I haven't had one that I was just like, drain pour.
No.
It's going to be in a very enjoyable, IPA, New England IPA. And then they have their stouts. And their stouts are really that is their strong point. And unless they get too crazy with the adjuncts, or they throw in some stuff that I just don't like crazy hazelnut or just something really, really strong like that. I think their stouts are really, really where it's at. And the Barcode series we've had on the show many times.
Amazing.
It's been great. And then we featured Indulgence 2 as part of the Advent calendar.
Yes.
And today we have Indulgence 3.
Yes.
And the Indulgence beers are limited to the Guild membership box. You get, there's like 400 members. Who knows if there's still 400 members, but there's at least 400 available spaces. So which makes this kind of a rare beer in that case. And there's no other than Indulgence 3. And
that's all the bottle says.
Yeah, there's nothing on here. So they include a sheet of paper which has the message for Guild members only on here. And so Indulgence 3 is aged for over a year in a very special single Mount Fuji rum barrel. The beer pours a Moersleutel signature pitch black with a mocha head. In the nose, you can find dried fruits in a combination with caramel rum spirits, which later turns to molasses.
Ooh.
Molasses would also be the same as treacle, in case you were curious in the UK what molasses are. The flavor consists of a very fruity chocolate accompanied with molasses, slightly sweet and bitter, but finishes smooth with a lingering molasses flavor. So, what I'm picking away from this is there's going to be a molasses flavor.
Yes.
Combined with rum and caramel.
Yeah.
And molasses.
And apparently molasses.
I think there might be molasses in this.
I heard the word smooth, and that's what I feel with most of the Moersleutel's Imperial Stouts.
Actually, one of my favorite of their Imperial Stouts is just their base. I think it's a Russian Imperial Stout called Loaded. It's so extremely drinkable and enjoyable. It is a really good basic stout.
So this one smells a little bit like licorice.
Yeah, that would be the molasses, actually.
Yeah.
If you know what molasses is, or treacle, it's basically you take cane sugar and you boil it down to where you have a very, very low water ratio.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very thick, almost glue-like substance.
Black.
It's very, very, it's like black tar, kind of. It's a very intense, sweet sugar flavor. And so you see it a lot in like gingerbread, molasses cookies with ginger, those kind of things. All right, so
Let's try it.
It smells a little burnt from
Cheers.
the heavy use of the roast on the stout and the molasses. That is sugary, rich, a little bitter,
Yep.
but really sugary.
It's very sweet, but there is some. I don't get a lot of barrels from this. Maybe I get a little bit of fruitiness from the rum.
There's a little bit of a rumminess, but it could just be I don't know what the ABV on this, but I'm assuming it's not low. Probably somewhere around, I would say, 13 to 15%, if I had to guess.
Probably.
Because there is that kind of barrel-y booziness to it that you get. 12, yeah. But I find it really pleasant. I mean,
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Raisins.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely raisins on it.
Yeah.
But you are happy with the guild membership, right? I remember you were just slightly temporarily dissatisfied with the first box because they took your money instantly, and then the box just took like months to arrive.
Yeah. So the way it works is at the end of 1 month, they take the money. And then at the end of the second month, they deliver the box.
All right.
So it's a month in between when they take the money to deliver the box.
Yeah.
Well, the way they did it the first month was they didn't take the money at the end of May. They took the money at the end of April. and then you didn't get your first box until the end of June.
Right.
So I was like, what the hell is this scam?
I remember that.
And there was literally zero communications in between in that almost 2 months. I think there was like one or two emails, and the week before the box came out. So it was literally like, is this happening? What's going on? I don't understand. You have not informed the audience of what's happening. It was a real miscommunication. Since then, they've gotten better about informing people, and I think they've gotten a lot of pushback on the way that they've done things. And so now you can go to their website, and if you go to the Moersleutel web shop, and they have a section called the Guild, and you can see what everything was in the first box, second box, third box, and then what's coming out in the fourth box. And there's some really interesting things in that fourth box. I'm really looking forward to that.
But also now that you're in, as soon as you're past that first months of uncertainty, now it's just a rolling schedule of you pay, you get the box.
Yeah.
You kind of forget that the first payment was before the first box.
Well, they've been really, really consistent. And I got to say that the overall quality has been pretty high. You usually get, you always get the Indulgence, which is a very special beer they just brew for the box. And then you get the barcode series, if there is one, guaranteed. You get any of their other stouts that come out. So you're looking at I think it's on average 13 to 16 beers per box.
Yeah.
You're talking 6 of them are probably stouts.
That is really good.
Another 5 are probably IPAs. And then you've got the random other stuff that they're working with. Yeah. So overall, there's usually I think for 1,200 overall.
Yep.
Which is 1,200 Danish, so around. I'm sorry, 1,200 Danish, but 1,200 Swedish.
Right, that's way better because 1,200 Danish is about 1 million.
Yes.
Swedish kroner,
basically. But for about, I think it's 1,100, 1,200 Swedish for 13 to 16 beers. The price breakdown is actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's great. Is that with shipping?
That's with shipping. That's with shipping.
That's great.
So that breaks out pretty good because I've paid much more for less.
Oh yes.
From web shops, and the fact that I would say 75% of the beers is not a bad ratio at all. Even the ones I don't like, I don't regret trying them because it's at least something different, and I appreciate the brewery for at least trying something. But yeah, so what would you give this one?
I think I'm very close to a 4.5.
Oh wow, you really like this one.
But it's a low 4.5. It's either 4.25 or 4.5.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna give this a 4.25.
Yeah.
It's a little too sweet for me. I wish the rum notes were a little bit stronger. But overall, I think it's really tasty.
And for anyone who's keeping a bingo card.
Did we say effervescent? Did I miss that?
No, we didn't say effervescent until now. So that's still unticked. But there has to be a box for when I enjoy a sweet beer more than you do.
Oh really? You think I enjoyed sweet beers more than you do?
I think I enjoy sweet beers way more than you do.
Oh, probably, yeah.
I think if we were to extract the data, I think I would be one rating level higher than you on any beer we say, oh, this is really sweet.
Probably.
So if you give it a 4, I'll give it a 4.25. If you give it a 3.5, I'll give it a 3.75. It's always one more when it's really sweet.
I think for me, the sweetness is just a way to cover flaws in the beer. So for me, there's no balance there. It's just sugar.
Yeah.
And I think that's a weakness in the beer, as the way I perceive it a lot of times.
But for me, it's a personal reflection time for me because I don't eat sweet candy.
You're not a sweets person.
I don't like sweets. I like salty, savory snacks like crisps. Mm-hmm. Oh, potato crisps are the best thing ever. I could skip chocolates and sweets for the rest of my life if you just put salty potato treats in front of me. so for me to enjoy sweet beers way more than you do, it's a wow moment. Mm-hmm. I think it just marries very well together with the other imperial stout flavors. Mm-hmm. And what I also think is I've gotten tired of the super roasted Russian imperial stouts.
Yeah,
they don't do it for me anymore.
No, I agree with you there. I get a little tired of, I like a well-made base stout, and I think Der Moersleutel makes an amazing base stout. It's really, really solid. It's not over-roasted. It's not too sweet. It's just a really, really great all-around flavor, and they do wonderful things with that. And I think the way they've been able to mold it and blend it and add adjuncts to it and really develop it. And if I had to guess, I'd probably say they have 2 different base stout recipes they work with, and then add things to that. Because I think that there's the Moda Olia, which is one, and I think Loaded is probably the other one that they
exactly.
They
and Moda Olia is way sweeter.
Yeah, and I feel like this is probably the Moda Olia base stout that they're working with.
There's a saying that our Pontus, friend of the show, he likes to repeat a saying that he was told. He was at Beer Ditch drinking imperial stouts with the old guard. Mm-hmm. And they were drinking the traditional Russian imperial stouts. Mm-hmm. And Pontus and Björn and a few others didn't really... I think it was Björn. Never mind. They didn't really like the traditional ones. They liked the pastry ones. And the saying was, pastry has rotted your brain.
I can see that.
Where we don't enjoy the traditional classics anymore. We just like the sweet pastry stouts.
I think you could equivalent that with New England IPAs.
Yeah.
Has completely forever changed what an IPA is and how it should be appreciated. But that's another conversation for another day.
For another year,
Another year. So let's wrap this up. Thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed
this
2021.
This entire year of us putting out
Yep.
Episodes constantly. We didn't miss a single date.
We haven't missed a single week. For almost I think maybe in the first year we missed a couple of weeks.
That's because you didn't have me, man.
Yeah, but since then, for at least the last 5 years, every week put in an episode. In December, of course, there's 25 episodes actually. So we hope you stick with us. We would love to hear what you guys are drinking and what you guys think. So any feedback or comments, you're always welcome to send them to us. Comment on our post on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Of course, you can find us on Spotify. Subscribe there if you want. But otherwise, have a happy new year, and hopefully 2021 was good to you, and 2022 will be even better.
Yeah.
So until next time,
keep drinking, you dum-dums.